Hi everyone, and welcome to my video where we're going to be talking about CSS syntax as well as selectors. So let's go ahead and get started. So let me start by removing these styles. Now I'm going to refresh. All right, so this is our plain HTML without any styling in it. So the syntax of CSS is actually pretty simple. So the way that you write CSS is you begin with a selector. So a selector can be like a tag name, for instance, like this, P. So this is going to select any element with a tag P. And notice how I don't have anything in front of the P, like I don't have a period or a pound sign. And because of that, it's just going to select P. So let's just set the background color to black for any element, and the color to white for any paragraph element. So let's save that, and here you go. So these two are paragraph elements. So here, this whole line right here is called the declaration. And within the declaration, we have the property. And this is kind of used in a lot of other languages. So it's good to remember this kind of thing, that this is considered a property and this is considered the value. And you'll notice here that all these declarations, these two declarations, are separated by the semicolon. So whenever you are done with a declaration, all you have to do is you have to end it with a semicolon, and then you can go ahead and you can start typing your other declaration. Now this can also be in one line like this. It doesn't matter, but CSS knows that these are two different declarations because of these semicolons right here. And you'll notice that the thing that separates the property from the value is a semicolon right here in the middle. Now these declarations are within these curly braces right here, right? So if I wanted to style a div, I would start with div, and then I would do curly braces. And then within these curly braces is where I would put, any of my declarations in it. I don't want to style a div, so I'm going to delete that. Another way to change a style of an element is by using the ID selector. So to implement the ID selector, you have to start it with a hash sign. So here for the tag selector, we didn't start it with anything except for the tag name, right? But here for the ID, we started with a hash sign. And here you can see that I have an ID here, div with an ID of my special div. And so this is saying for the element with the ID of my special div, apply these styles to it. So let's set this to background color red. So my special div now has a background color of red. And you can apply the same type of things with classes. So classes are a way for you to group elements together with a style. So you'll see here that this div right here has the class attribute with the value of style 1. You'll notice here that this div also has style 1. That means that these two divs will receive the same styling. So in order to give it styling, we have to start with a period. So the period signifies that we're trying to style a class. We're trying to target a class. So, and then we have to enter the class name, style 1, and then the curly braces. And then here we just give it our declaration. So we'll set the background color of this to green. And you'll notice here that both of the style ones, both of the divs with style 1 got the background color of green. So I didn't have to go into here and give this specific div a background color of green and same with this. Like I didn't have to do this. All I needed to do was let me get rid of this. All I needed to do was just give it both of those divs the style, and then they took the style from up here. So I only had to write the style once. So if the style ever changes, I just have to change it in one place instead of doing it in a bunch of places and possibly missing some spots. Now, another example of a selector is by targeting a specific element with a class. So for instance, here you can see that we're targeting all the paragraph elements here with this, right? So let me just save just in case, refresh, and it's targeting both of these. But let's say that I wanted to target just the paragraph element that had the class this one, right? And let's give this also this one. So you'll notice that there's a few things going on. There's two paragraph tags. One of them has the class of this one. And then there's a div element that has the class of this one. So let's see what happens here. So if I do this one, background color yellow. Now let's do purple. Might be easier to see. So you can see that it turned Hello World and I am style 2 into purple. Now let's say that I only want to target, I don't want to target the div of this one. I want to target just the paragraph and not both paragraphs, not all paragraphs, just this paragraph with the class of this one. All I need to do is say for this element, so remember, I'm not starting it with a period or a hash because I want all the paragraphs that have the class of this one, and I'm saying has the class because of this period right here, right? That has the class of this one, give it the background color of purple. So let's save, and you'll see that now, because this has the class of this one and it's a paragraph element, it has the background color of purple. Now this div right here, I'm style 2, no longer has the purple background color because it's not a paragraph tag. Over here we're specifying that it has to be a paragraph tag with a class of this one. So let's say that we create another paragraph here and we save that. You'll see that now this also has the purple background because it's a paragraph tag with a class of this one. Now let's say that you wanted to change something about all of the elements on your page, right? So the way that you would do that is with a thing called universal selector. So let's say that you wanted to make everything bolded, all the text bolded, right? So you would do a star, which is like a wild card. It's a universal selector, and then you would give it your declaration. So let's save that, and you can see that now everything here is bolded. So let's talk a little bit about grouping. So here you can see that I have the class of this one along with, that's a paragraph, along with a div of this one. So in order to, let's say that we wanted to not only give the paragraph the background color purple that has the class of this one, but we also wanted to, for any div that has the class this one, we also want it to be purple. Now, yes, what we could do is just delete the element and then do it like this. But let's say that you also now have, a header. I am a header with the class of this one, right? Let's say that you don't want the header to be purple. You just want the paragraphs that have this one class on it and the divs that have this one class on it. So instead of repeating code like this, like writing it like this, two separate ones, what you can do is you can group these together. So I'm going to copy this. And then the way that you group it is with a comma. And then I'm just going to delete this. And so I just grouped these together. This is saying for any paragraph tag that has the class of this one, and for any div tag that has the class of this one, make that purple. So let's save and refresh. And here you can see that now both the div here and the paragraphs are still purple, but the header here is not, because I'm not specifying that any headers with this one should be. So if I did want to do that, I would do h1, x1, and then refresh. But at this point, if I'm doing it for all of them, I might as well just do something like this with a class selector, right? And then just put my declaration in here. But that's not my intention. I just want these two. So anyway, that is it for this video about syntax and selectors. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to hit the thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. All right, everyone, have a good rest of your day. Thanks.